Game Changers Week in New York City. I'm looking forward to seeing many of you at the event, and I hope all you Buzzcast listeners say hello. And this is your morning Buzzcast for Monday, September 22nd. I'm Abe Madkour. First, I thought it was fun what CBS Sports did on Sunday with its Throwback Sunday, as they look back to 1975 during yesterday's NFL coverage, celebrating the 50th anniversary of the NFL Today, the pregame show that really started it all. It debuted on September 21st, 1975, which lined up exactly 50 years with Sunday's games. And CBS went retro for both the studio show as well as its game broadcasts. The set had the same look as the NFL Today did. I loved having Brent Musburger, the only living cast member from the original show, on the pregame show. He is still so good. That's the show I grew up with, so I credit CBS executives for honoring the show that started it all and having some fun along the way on Sunday. What a big week in New York City. Yes, we have game changers. You have the UN General Assembly that starts today as world leaders are descending on Manhattan this week for the event's 80th session. The city is always packed around the General Assembly. And yes, the Ryder Cup tees off this week. The world's top golfers at Bethpage Black on Long Island, and there is so much anticipation for this event. There has been for months. It'll be a who's who, and it will be intense. Showcasing the high level of interest around the event, my colleague Josh Carpenter reported that the PGA of America exceeded its goals for its 10,000 per day premium hospitality package. They sold these nearly a month before the event begins. Yes, $10,000 per day. This is called the Metro Club. What do buyers get? Well, they get access to the clubhouse, first tee viewing, black car service from Manhattan, all-inclusive food and beverage, and access to multiple hospitality venues around the golf course. And that is $10,000 per day or $35,000 for the week, starting on Thursday. As of late last week, passes for Saturday and Sunday were sold out. There were limited amounts, but this shows the level of high-end hospitality around the Ryder Cup. And I noted it's going to be an intense crowd out at Bethpage Black. NBC Sports, it's leaning right into that. They will have a partisan booth during its coverage. Yes, you'll have hosts representing the U.S., and hosts representing Team Europe during the coverage. And yes, NBC Sports pulling out all the stops for this year's Ryder Cup. They will bring the most cameras ever into the field for a Ryder Cup in the United States. So again, you'll see all sorts of coverage, a partisan booth, a wild, wild scene at Bethpage Black this week. Let's shift to baseball because we're nearing the end of the regular season. A lot of good races still in the mix. In the National League West, the Dodgers are up 3 games with a week to play. We have talked time and again how impressive that franchise is on the business side. And more proof comes as for the first time in the team's history, the Dodgers will hit 4 million in attendance at Dodger Stadium this season. They hit it on Sunday. That's just an amazing number. Yes, the Dodgers have led the major leagues in attendance every year since 2013, but they have never hit the 4 million in attendance mark. No major league team has hit 4 million since the Mets and Yankees in 2008. The Blue Jays did it in the 90s. The Rockies did it in the 90s. Ballparks are smaller now, so it will be very, very hard for any team to hit 4 million. But to show the sustained success of the Dodgers, they have not sold fewer than 3.7 million tickets under Mark Walter's ownership, aside from the 2 seasons that were impacted by COVID and had attendance restrictions. Really an amazing run, what the Dodgers are doing in Los Angeles at Dodger Stadium and Chavez Ravine. Meanwhile, the Stu Sternberg era is coming to an end in Tampa. On Saturday, the Rays paid tribute to their outgoing owner that included players and coaches coming onto the field to salute him. He had his staff surrounding him in the stands. This tribute was a surprise to Sternberg, whose sale of the team is expected to become official this week. You'll see a lot of changes with that organization. Two of the team's top leaders, team president Matt Silverman and Brian Auld, are also impacted by the deal. Silverman is leaving the organization. Auld is staying on in an advisory role. Now, while Stu Sternberg may be a controversial figure as an owner, there were a number of things he couldn't get done in Tampa, including a new ballpark. It should be noted the strong affinity that Ray's staff have for their owner. People who have worked for Stu Sternberg all rave about his human touch and his human qualities, but new ownership of the Rays likely being formalized over the next week. Big news for downtown Los Angeles that will impact the Olympics and other areas downtown like Crypto.com Arena and LA Live. It was talked a lot about while SBJ was in Los Angeles last week. What is the news? Well, leaders of the city approved a major makeover of Los Angeles' convention center, a $2.6 billion expansion of that facility. So why is this important? Well, they are doing it to pump some energy and stimulus into downtown Los Angeles, and the facility is hoping to get this facelift before the 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Games. The facility will host judo and wrestling and other competitions. But it's not just about the Olympics. A renovated convention center will make Los Angeles more competitive for major sports events, for major conferences, and it also should be a boost to the adjacent LA Live complex and the Crypto.com Arena. So again, everybody in Los Angeles was keeping an eye on this vote, a $2.6 billion expansion of Los Angeles' convention center. And more facility developments in women's sports. We are seeing such critical investments in infrastructure, and another example is in San Francisco as Bay FC broke ground on its Sports Performance Center on Treasure Island. Now, this facility will be a headquarters for the team, have 3 training fields. It'll be San Francisco's first professional women's sports training facility. And I believe this is the first step in the team getting its own stadium. Right now, Bay FC shares PayPal Park in San Jose with the Earthquakes, but all signs point to the team eventually having its own facility. The visuals of the Sports Performance Center on Treasure Island are stunning. Check them out. And the venue is expected to open before the 2027 NWSL season. So here are the 4 takeaways from today's Buzzcast. First, the Ryder Cup will be one of the biggest sports events this year. High-end hospitality, high-profile attendees, and passionate fans from Europe and the U.S. on the ground at Bethpage Black. Number 2, investments in infrastructure are critical to the growth of women's sports, and so it's a good sign to see more and more of these investments, like Bay FC breaking ground on its training complex. Number 3, downtown LA needs a jolt. It needs an economic stimulus, and it should get that with a $2.6 billion renovation of its convention center, which will make the city more appealing to hosting major events like Super Bowls and CFP title games. And the 4th takeaway, staying in Los Angeles, the Dodgers continue to prove themselves to be one of the most popular and best-run teams in all of sports, evidenced by the team drawing 4 million fans for the first time this season. And so that is your morning Buzzcast for Monday, September 22nd. I'm Abe Madkour. My colleagues will bring you the Buzzcast for the rest of the week as I'll be in New York. Stay healthy, be good to each other. I'll speak to you down the road.